Hello and welcome to another episode of Nicho's Dad Cooks Something. And today I'll be mostly baking coconut tart. I'll have a go anyway. So, first things first, I have to make the pastry. So here we go. Here goes nothing. So we've got to make shortcrust pastry. So first things first, we have our measuring equipment, because I measure everything, remember? Yep. So, first things, let's get our plain flour. We shall open up the flour. How difficult to just open up flour. Oh my god. So, okay, now we have the flour. Let's turn this to 0. On 0. So we want 125 grams of sifted flour. So, 125 grams. Oh, the fun. I haven't baked for a long time, so this is news for me. It's been quite a long time since I last did anything baking wise. So, fingers crossed. 120 grams, just five more. Perfect. 125 grams of flour done. We then want a pinch of salt. But I don't pinch salt, I use aromat. It's not fat, it's aromat. So I shall bang just a couple in there. So we have got the salt. Then, once we've got that, we shall transfer it into my mixing dish. And we're going to have to get some butter. Now, the butter, we want 60 grams. So, I shall get 60 grams. So, back at 0. 5, 6, 60 grams exactly, because I measure everything. So, 60 grams of butter, done. Let's get everything else ready. So that's my butter. Let's get the egg yolk. Is next. So we will get a cup so that I can get the egg. We shall get our egg. And this is where we'll separate the egg, and we will also hopefully keep the yolk. So, transferred from one to the other. Done. Egg. So that's our egg ready. Egg white. We'll do something with that later. We now have our egg yolk. All we want next will be our sugar. So we will get our flour, get our butter, put that both together. Done. We then will want our salts in there, we'll want caster sugar. So we'll get our caster sugar, put that back to 0. Get our caster sugar, that's granulated, so I don't want that. I want caster, which is this. And caster sugar, we will want a tablespoon. Tablespoon. I'll just place that in over the top, and we'll want the egg yolk, which I've got in there. Put a little bit of water in that, not a lot, cold water as well. Give that a bit of a whisk. And then that's ready. So all I'm wanting to do is to mix the flour, salt and sugar with the butter. Just start to mix that in. I mean, really, we don't want to put too much into the mixing part because we want the pastry to be flaky, if anything, so that it's not tough pastry like I would do on a pie. We want it so when it goes into your mouth it breaks, and it just it makes the taste so much better. So that's pretty much okay. So what we'll do now is we will put in the egg yolk. Done. And we'll start to mix. All the mixture all together. Until it all starts coming together. You'll probably want some more water with this to bind it together. But pretty much that's it. That's your pastry. I'm not making too much pastry. Because I'm probably the only one who's going to have these. So, whoops, whoopsie daisy. So we'll get a bit more water to make sure we've got that egg yolk all used. We'll pop that into our mix. Yep. Get that all in mixed. Not putting too much flour in there. Not too much water, sorry. We just want it to bind together. And that's nearly about perfect. If anything, just maybe a little more flour. But it's almost perfect. We don't want it too dry, but we don't want it too runny either. So, pretty much mixed. Pastry done. As I say, you don't want to knead it too much because you don't want a tough pastry. You want this to basically melt in the mouth. So that's pretty much done. I'll get some flour, put that out. get our mixture. Done. Get our rolling pin. And we're just going to flatten that a little bit. Yep. Put our flour. Yep. And there we have it. A bit of pastry. What we're going to do is just make a few cuts. We'll make one, we'll do two, we'll do three. Okay, take that away. Got our dish. I'm going to just make it in this because it's easier for me. Get a knife. Take that off. And just place that in any one of them. So that's one of ours. Now to manipulate it slightly. Second one. Put that in there. Just manipulate it around. Because I'm only making a few. Just because I'm on a diet anyway. I shouldn't be eating these. So there's one, there's two. Here's the third. It just needs to move around a little bit. Done. Right. Got a bit of mixture left, so okay. Roll this out. Right, so there's the next one. Right, that's our next. Again, we'll get another one out of this. So put it together, roll it down. Okay, next. Put that down. Slightly manipulate it into the dish. That's that done. I think we might just get one more, which would be perfect for me and my lad, Nicho. Although I don't know if he likes coconut, so we shall see. So, I'm just trying to get one more out of this. Out of this pastry. So, yep. There's our last one. Let's get this one and pop it in there. Yep. Done. Yep. Just make these a little thicker in there. I'll add that one to that one. Just so we're not wasting any pastry, because it is absolutely gorgeous. So, yeah, both of them in there. that's made up. That one's done. Put a bit in there. Might as well use all pastry up. I'm not going to make any more than this, so just get that in there. Done. So there's our 6 that we're going to bake. So that's done. What we're going to do now is let that settle a minute while I do part 2, which is the mixture. And I've got some jam to put in. So join us in part 2 when I make the next mix, the coconut, and I put the jam in. See ya. Welcome back to part 2. I'm going to do the filling. So, first things first. Raspberry jam. My favourite. You don't want to put too much of the jam into each one because it'll squirt out if you put too much in. So, be sparingly, but put enough to actually taste it. So, I just put the end of a teaspoon and I put that in there into your pastries. So yeah, all of that in there. Making sure each one's got just enough just to give it a nice taste. Just a bit more in that one. Just a bit more in that one. And the last one, that's my jam. Put a bit more in there. A bit more in there. Get that all pushed down and into the pastry dishes. Just enough to give it a taste. Okay, just a bit more in that centre one. And then that'll be about it. So yeah, that's my jam. So that's the jam filling. Second bit, self-raising flour. We want, for the centre part, we want the jam will have 60 grams. We've got 60 grams of sugar, and I'll need 30 grams. I'll just put over 30 grams of self-graze. Should really have sifted this, so what I'm going to do is bang it in here first. So just a bit more than that. Right. Sift that into there. So that's my flour done. Again, I'll use my butter, whether you use margarine or butter, doesn't really matter. And what we want in here, we're basically going to put 60 grams of margarine or butter. Not a huge amount then. 40. 50. 60. So I'll get my butter into there. That's the next part. Right. My hand's a bit of a rub. So we've got our flour, we've got our butter. We want the same with the sugar. So caster sugar, and we'll want 60 of that one as well. So right. Perfect. 60 grams of sugar. So that's everything into there. And then the last thing that we're going to want is the coconut, to which we want another 60 grams of desiccated coconut. So just find my scissors. We want 60 grams of coconut. Perfect. Place that in there. And then again another egg. Oops. So we want the egg yolk. We'll put an egg into this. So egg. Done. Beat that up. And then mix that into there. Now, I should do this with the mixer, really, but that means I'll have to have more cleaning to do, so we shall do it the old-fashioned way. And what we're wanting to do with this is to get it all nicely mixed together to the point where it's mixed, but it wants to fall off the spoon. So basically going like that, and then it wants to fall off, which it will there, just falling off. So that's pretty much mixed. Yep. So there we have it. There's our coconut mixed. Perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put so much in each one of our coconut pies. So done. There's one. There's two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And last one, 9. I'm just going to mix out the last little bits. So we've got them all in there, but that one's pretty much perfect. This one, let's give it a nice squeeze about. This one, again, perfect. Get the last bits, that one wants some more in. Yep. So that one's about done perfectly. That one's done. That one, just a bit more in there. That one's done, that one's done, a bit more in there, a bit more in there. Oh yeah, done. 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 And done. All my mixture is gone. And there you have it. Coconut tarts. So they're going in cooker. Done. So okay, that is all of my coconut tarts in the cooker. So join me in part 3 when I'll be getting them out of the cooker and I'll be eating the whole lot of them. So thanks for watching, see you in part 3.